April 2023, a Larimer County Sheriff's deputy tails a white van. Inside, Jason Pattinson and Ben Drysdale, two law-abiding men who are just headed to a work site.
I noticed like a Larimer County Sheriff behind me, and I don't think anything of it because like I don't even have like parking tickets. Like I don't live that kind of life.
Then all of a sudden we heard a loud bang on the back of the van and didn't really know what it was.
The deputy shoots a GPS tracking dart that sticks to the back door. A few minutes later, numerous police pull over the van as they point their guns at Jason and Ben.
Yeah, y'all got to see this one, man. Y'all got to see this one, man. I got nothing. Y'all got to see this, man. Trailhand Bill, y'all know where I'm at. We're going to talk about it on the back end. Boy, ain't no way in hell.
Driver, put your hands out the window. Do it now.
Honestly, what was kind of going through my mind was like, man, what has this Jason guy gotten himself into? But I was like, Jason's a pretty straight and narrow dude. I don't think he would do anything.
Walk backwards. Walk backwards.
Because I have no idea what's going on. I just assumed it was something Ben did.
Police cuff Jason and Ben at gunpoint and throw them to the back of police units.
First, you have the right to remain silent.
What the hell is going on here? I'm just trying to go work.
The van is a listed stolen vehicle of the Denver Police Department. So that's why you're both contacted at gunpoint and were pulled out of the car.
I don't know what crime I'm being accused of, but...
Okay. The reason you're being contacted today, the van is listed as a stolen vehicle of the Denver Police Department. So that's why you're being contacted, and there were a lot of cops with their guns pulled out.
Okay.
A month before this fiasco, Jason reported to Denver police someone stole items out of his work van. But records show the Denver officer accidentally marked the whole van as stolen, causing a license plate reader camera to alert officers as it traveled through Larimer County.
So I think Denver screwed this up and entered the car as stolen when they shouldn't have.
Eventually, after the deputy calls Jason and Ben's boss...
Hi, Seth. My name's Deputy Hart. I work for the Sheriff's Office in Berthoud. How's it going?
...and confirms they are not car thieves, he lets them go.
You guys are good to go. Sorry we had to be under these circumstances, but hopefully your day is not as exciting as this.
Really a lot of confusion. Like I had no idea what's going on, like why I was in this situation. Just like utter bafflement. Like it's I don't know, kind of a surreal experience.
I wasn't mad at the policemen by any means, that they're just doing their job. That's what came across their screen and said that the van was stolen. So it's nothing against them.
So that was Jeremy Hohola reporting. This happened more than a year ago, but we're hearing about it now because discipline documents related to this incident were just released in the last few weeks. The Denver police officer who messed up that paperwork was suspended without pay for 2 days. DPD says they also put together some additional training for their officers.
That additional training, that last part, I'm going to have to mark that as fluff because I think they could have been transparent and, told us more about what that was, man. Shout out to Denver, Colorado, guys. I was initially going to cover this video collectively with another video that I have about a father and his 16-year-old daughter being pulled over down here in Florida, Pinellas County, and being pulled out of their vehicles at gunpoint, also because of a mistake that the cops made. There's a lot I want to say about this video. I'm going to try to say it quick and get out of here. One of the most viral videos on my channel is actually a short. Cop tries to get guy to confess to murder, but he wasn't expecting this.
If you accidentally shot the dude because you flinched or you got scared because of something he did, now is the time. If you come up with that stuff later, nobody is going to believe a word you say.
How the f would somebody accidentally shoot somebody?
Because if your finger's on the trigger, it's called a sympathetic reflex. It happens to police officers all the time.
A lot of people watch that video and they get the point of it. A lot don't, right? The highlight of it is the cop says, hey man, if you accidentally, he's telling the suspect, if you accidentally kill this guy, because your finger was on the trigger and then, something just accidentally caused you to squeeze it, just tell us that. We know what he's trying to do. He's lying to him, trying to get him to tell on himself. But the guy says, how do you accidentally shoot somebody? That's what he asked the cop. And the cop says, it happens to cops all of the time. We call it sympathetic reflex. The guy says, no, I think that's just some BS that cops came up with to cover their asses when they murder people. Let me tell you what I thought about that while watching this video, along with the fact that at the end, one of the gentlemen said, hey, I'm not mad at the cops, man. They're just doing their job. It came up on the screen. I'm with all of that, big dog. We're going to talk about that. But this, to me, is a conversation about responsibility and accountability. Over here, you have cops just doing their jobs, and it leads them, because one of their comrades made a mistake, one of their gang-banging buddies made a mistake, it leads them to pulling guns, deadly weapons on innocent Americans. Follow where I'm going here. Now, these same cops have the mindset that they can accidentally kill people and call it sympathetic reflex. Some of the comments in that video say he was just saying that to get the guy to confess. It doesn't really happen. Well, you know, back to Blue Blind Patriots, y'all full of shit. Because we can literally connect what that damn cop said to what happens to innocent Americans every damn day. I'm not talking about the ones that y'all had these debates about whether cops were right to murder them or not. I'm talking about don't get me, I'm gonna call names. Somebody just jumped in my damn comments and said, oh, you talk about cops don't go to jail, and then name one of the female cops that went to jail. Number one, she got a very reduced sentence. And what I told this cow who jumped in my comments with that foolishness is the exceptions only highlight the rules. We know that, right? You do not want to start calling names. You do not want to list the names of people that cops have killed with no recompense at all, no penalty at all, nothing. No discipline at all. They literally went home on paid vacations and also got crowd-funded accounts from these blind-ass patriots who back them. And I just call them patriots to be condescending. You ain't got to correct me about that. I don't know what the hell they is. They kind of demonic to me to be backing that type of ignorance, that type of murderous mentality. But you don't want me to list calling those names, and those are just the dead ones that they murder. We don't even want to get to the list of calling names of the innocent Americans that they brutalize. Don't start that versus the ones who actually had to suffer some type of penalty for murdering and brutalizing and terror. So I'm saying all of it connects to me. So when I hear this cop say, yo, bro, we kill people all the time and we call it sympathetic, well, first and foremost, what the hell is that? I don't even want to get into that conversation. To me, that's just semantics. You kill somebody because you work for the government and you one of their sanctioned thugs, they got it out for you. That's what that is. That's the answer to that question. And we know you weren't just saying it to get a confession, because we can point to the numerous dead Americans that you have done this to and got away with it and got rewarded for. And now, full circle, you got cops that I'm with the dude. I cannot blame these cops, bro. It's been so much that I want to say to you guys about how I feel about cops as an organization. You already know I don't trust them and I despise them, right? I also see them though, and these are the stories that I don't report, but I watch the news and I keep up with stuff. I'm not trying to be biased, that's why I can tell you this. I see them solving 40 and 50-year-old cold cases. I told you guys in one video about one they did down here in Miramar, Florida, right next to me where I be at all the time. I see them finding 200 missing children. I see them finding the murderers, the women who murdered their loved one, who murdered their child 30 years ago or last week. I see them rescuing kids from hot cars and stuff. Like, I can't pretend that arena of copping doesn't exist. So I got this little thing and I haven't figured out how to ask you guys about it yet. But it's like, I'm not necessarily with the whole I don't even know what they mean by defund, because I don't follow those trends on either side of the coin. But I hear it, right? And I don't even know what that means. But I don't know if we just need to do away with policing versus just regulate policing. Like maybe take their weapons away, take their military grade weapons away, and just reduce them to investigative purposes and stuff like that, search and rescue missions. And I know that's being overly broad, because that would have to come with specific guidelines, details, and instructions. But I'm just saying where my mind is at. I ain't finna act like they don't be out here doing some wonderful shit. Because if my loved one was missing, damn it, and we pay y'all, you damn right I want y'all to be out there finding them and bringing them home to me. And I want that for the people. It ain't got to be my loved one. I want that for the people whose loved ones are in those circumstances. And in a lot of situations, cops are covering those bases. So I think that is great work that they're doing when they do those things. It's just that so much other bullshit comes with it. That's where, like I say, and we all have different ideas about this. I'm more so, let's find a way to regulate the work that they do. You know what I mean? Unless we're going, whole different conversation. But they don't just do those things. They also murder innocent Americans and then call it sympathetic reflex so they can go home with paid vacations. So now, even though I can't blame these cops in this particular circumstance for doing their damn job, I can go back to what I always say. I do blame the institution. And I cannot agree with this guy that says, well, the cops are just doing their job. Family, I don't think you or your family members would have said that if your ass would have ended up murdered out there based on sympathetic reflex. Because they pulled you over just doing their damn job like they're supposed to, right? If my car's stolen and they see somebody in it, tag reader, alert them to it, you damn right. I don't give a damn if I say let the person go home or not, but stop them and bring my damn car back at least. So yeah, do your job. But unfortunately, once again, that good stuff that they do is attached to the fact that they will accidentally kill you when they accidentally pull you over because their partner accidentally typed the wrong shit in on some lazy stuff. Or just being human, because we all do that. Be for real, we all make typos. We all be doing multiple things at the same time. Any of us could have made that mistake, but what it leads to on the other end, remember what I said this is conversation about to me? Responsibility and accountability. What it leads to on the other end are the things that pop in my mind when I watch videos like this, and the one that I'm gonna do about the 16-year-old daughter and her dad. It leads to innocent Americans being murdered, and that's why we do have to hold these cops to the standard that they pretend to operate at. We can't just keep letting them off the hook with these low bars that they be reaching. We can't. That's why I asked the question, what do you guys think? I'm surprised they even addressed it with any type of real discipline. I'm surprised they didn't sweep it under the rug. But do you guys think a 2-day suspension with no pay was enough in this circumstance? I don't know. I would have to think about that. I'm not going to pretend I have an answer right now. Like I said, I ain't going to pretend that that isn't a mistake that anybody couldn't have made. But the peril that it leaves innocent Americans in, that's unspeakable, and we can't just, you know what I mean, sweep that under the rug or speak past it. Not to me. I'm glad these people are all right. I was tripping at the beginning of the video, and it seems they probably just co-workers, so they probably know each other, but you know how you might know your co-worker, but you don't know them like that, even if you know them a little bit more. And both of them were like, shit, damn, fam, what you done did? I was like, man, what you done did? They was like, I thought it was him. And that was funny to me, man. But again, man, this is unfortunate, man. And with cops roaming through our streets like this, man, with the authority that they have, with the weapons they have, man, with the resume that they have, man, I cannot blame those cops who responded to that scene. I can't at all. I can't. They literally were doing their job. But once again, this is why, to me, that job that they do needs to have many more regulations. And the sad thing about it is they know that. That's why in so many cases, like even with just filming them with cameras, they will go out of their way to fight against those regulations, man. Tooth and nail. They don't give a damn. They literally would kill. We seen what they just did to Carolina Fort Worth. All she was doing was recording, and we got countless stories like that. So, man, y'all be safe out there. These are unpreventable situations. Humans are involved. Human error is involved. It's gonna happen. Once again, I'm gonna keep highlighting the thing about this is these are people with authority in our neighborhoods, and they have, they have a resume and they have weapons that have done nothing but terrorize us, and they get to walk away on the end with that, hey, sympathetic reflex. Sorry, we just made a mistake. So therefore, we gotta hold you guys to a higher standard. We gotta, like when simple mistakes like this, yeah, somebody gotta be the example so we know this can't happen. So I'm glad they addressed it, but did they address it enough is the lingering question for me, man. Hey, man, Trailhand Bill, we are coming back, Lord willing. I don't know when, I don't want a lot of y'all, but you can just probably type it into your search if you're interested in checking it out. Now, that was in Florida. They did the same damn thing for other reasons, but it was still their fault. They did the same thing to a father and his 16-year-old daughter. Y'all be safe.
How the f would somebody accidentally shoot somebody?
Because if your finger's on the trigger, it's called a sympathetic reflex. It happens to police officers all the time.
A few minutes later, numerous police pull over the van as they point their guns at Jason and Ben.
Driver, put your hands out the window, do it now!
Police cuff Jason and Ben at gunpoint and throw them to the back of police units.
First, you have the right to remain silent.
What the hell is going on here? I'm just trying to go to work.
The van is a listed stolen vehicle of the Denver Police Department. So that's why you're both contacted at gunpoint and were pulled out of the car. Okay. The reason you're being contacted today, the van is listed as a stolen vehicle of the Denver Police Department. So that's why you're being contacted, and there were a lot of cops with their guns pulled out. I think Denver screwed this up and entered the car as stolen when they shouldn't have.
We got one cop telling us what we already know. They'll kill as many of us as they want to and go home. And now I got 40 of them accidentally pointing guns at me. With their sympathetic reflex, we'll turn America into Vietnam if an acorn fall. Qualified immunity, fingers on the trigger. How the hell are we supposed to feel safe around cops?
It's called a sympathetic reflex. It happens to police officers all the time.
I think that's a term that's been come up with just to cover their asses for shooting people.
Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.